Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 and the first day of the beta. It has finally dropped and we can now access the full game, or rather the beta of the game. I mean, it's still not the full game, but the full game will be out in a couple of weeks' time. But we can actually play the game. You guys can play the game as well. And we can really get stuck into the actual things going on this season on the channel. So I know I said that I wasn't going to be using Newcastle for the beta, but it's always the first real series I do. Every year that the beta has dropped, I've always loaded up a Newcastle save. So I thought I'm going to stick with tradition. We are going to go in Newcastle again. It's not going to be long term. There will be a lot more matches off camera this year. And we're going to try and crack through a good few seasons if we can and just see how we do with Newcastle. Now, the way that we're going to be set up this year is the same that you've already seen on the channel. This is a tactical video that I put up a couple of days ago. We'll be taking this tactic forward. If you do want to look at any of the details, you can see here we're playing with two shadow strikers and an attacking midfielder just behind them. We've got a Mazzala, a box-to-box midfielder, and a regista with two complete wing-backs, two ball-playing defenders, and a sweeper keeper in support. You can see the team instructions here on the left-hand side, and the only individual instructions are on the attack midfielder, which you can see right there. So this is the tactic that we are going to be using. If we have a look at the squad, it's a decent squad. We've got Carl Darlow as a goalkeeper. He looks alright. The assistant doesn't think he's too bad. 3-star ability, which is about average for our team. Mo Diame is the next one up because it goes in alphabetical order, which is not what I'm after. So if we go back, you can see Dubravka here. He's 3.5 stars. As he is in real life, he will probably be my first choice goalkeeper. Now we've got a couple of right wing backs in Manquillo and Yedlin. Last year Manquillo was fantastic for me. I managed to sell him for about 40 million to PSG. DeAndre Yedlin might be quite a good player to have around as well. We don't have a great number of left backs. We do have Dummett and Clark who can play there, but they're not wing backs. So a left wing back might be something we need to look at in terms of bringing into the team. But we do have Federico Fernandez, who's good. He's 3.5 star. We've also got Jamal Lascelles, the captain. Of course, he will be in the team quite a bit. Fabian Schär in the team as well. 3.5 stars as well. The defence is pretty solid this year, and Kieran Clark as well, a pretty mainstay player there for Newcastle. So the defence isn't too bad, other than that left wing back, so I don't want to play Paul Dummett there for too much. And then looking at the midfield, we've got Lejeune, Diame, Colback, who's out on loan at the moment, so I will just drop him into the under-23 squad so he doesn't confuse my thinking too much. The same for Saive. If we move him into the under-23s, Rolando Aarons as well, also out on loan. We've got quite a few players out on loan. It's a shame that Dwight Gale is out on loan as well, but we will move him down. And then we've got Solomon Rondon and Kennedy in on loan. But in midfield, we have got Mo Diame here. He's getting on a bit at 31. I might look to sell him depending on how we're doing. Lejeune can play at centre-back or in midfield. I'm not sure. We've got a lot of centre-backs. He must have to play at defensive midfielder. So I don't know how good he is as a regista. If we have a look, he is not great, but he can play in that position, and that is something we can use. But Isaac Hayden, he can play there as well. He will probably be there more than anyone. We've also got Ki Sung Young this year. He could be quite interesting. Again, he can play as a regista. We've got a few players who can sit in that defensive midfield position. But we have a very defensive team, which is not ideal for the tactic we're using. We do have John Joe Shelvey, who can play a bit further up. He can play as a Mazzala. And then Sean Longstaff, one of our youngsters, who's okay. He's not got a lot of room to develop, but he can play as a box-to-box midfielder. So I imagine he will be in quite a bit of game time this year. Now we've got a couple of attacking midfielders who will not be sticking around too much. We do have Matt Richie, who is worth a decent amount of money, 20 million, 28 years old. He is probably going to be sold because we just don't need him. Jacob Murphy as well. He can play as an attacking midfielder, so he might sit around a bit longer because he can do a shadow striker role, and we can train him up there because he's quite young. And then we've got Yoshinori Muto, if I can get his name out properly, who's a really good striker and can play as a shadow striker, so he will probably stick around as well. Atsu will be leaving, I'm sure. Perez is one of the players I'm hoping will be the lynch for this tactic to actually work. I can see him getting an awful lot of goals. And then we've got Hosselu as well, who may well end up leaving the club, A, because he's a bit crap, but also he just does not fit our tactics. So that is the first team that we're using here. If we have a look at the under-23s and just look at the kind of players that we've got in here, I'm just going to change the setup so that we can see their current ability a little bit better. If we just do this, will that work? That looks like it is just about working. Not quite, but we get there. So as you can see, there is their current ability and potential ability, very, very stretched out because there's so much information available on this screen. But if we sort them by maximum potential, Freddie Woodman probably will come up into the first team in the next couple of years because he's got such great potential ability. Obviously did so well for the England under-21s. Yannick Touré seems like a good striker to have as well. 17-year-old Swiss striker, he could be pretty good. Barlasser could be an interesting player. He's a perfect Mazzala. I need to get him back. Can I cancel his loan, actually? If I can cancel his loan, can't recall his loan. That's so frustrating because he is such a good player in his position, and he's got great potential growth as well. Victor Fernandez not going to play very much. Callum Roberts probably not going to play very much. A couple more players out on loan. And then we start to get into some players who are not that great. Lazar can actually play at wing-back, so I'm going to push him up into the senior squad because he can do a job there. We've got Rob Elliott as well, who's probably going to get sold because we've got 4 great goalkeepers there. Or 4 good goalkeepers. 2 good goalkeepers, a good future prospect, and a not-so-good goalkeeper. And that is kind of where the talent runs out in the under-23s. We do have 1 striker in the under-18s who's all right. But that's a kind of overview of the club. If we have a look at the finances, £70 million in the bank, not a surprise given how little money we spend. But when I look at the board, you can see we've got 23 million in the bank and 150 grand wage budget. We can work with that. That is not out of this world. If we have a look at the players available on our search list and just go straight up to the top here, the biggest names that we can sign, we could bring Ramirez in, except we couldn't because they're on 190 grand a week. And then we're not looking at actually that great players. We've got Freddie Guarin, who again is on 99 grand a week. Begovic, Aaron Moy might be a decent signing, depending on where he plays. He could do a box-to-box or Mazzala role. He could be an interesting signing to pick up. We've also got John Obi Mikel down here. Again, over in China, there's a few players we could bring in from China, but their wage demands would be insane. But I am probably going to go for youth prospects, if I'm being honest. I might have a quick look at who is on the transfer list. And as you can see, Tom Cleverley, we could bring back Musa Sissoko. Can he play in our positions? That's an interesting question. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and Mazzala, that is a good shout. Let's see if we can bring back Musa Sissoko. That would be really funny. Michael Antonio is not quite what we're after. Markovic could be an interesting one. They only want 6.75 million, and he's got decent prospects, I think. If we put him in that shadow striker role, he's not great at it. So maybe he is not that good an option for us. Also, just having a look down this list, I mean, we're hitting pretty poor players at this point. There aren't that many on the transfer list that I actually want. But I'm going to do some scouting. We'll have a little look around. We'll get stuck into the club. When we look at the schedule for pre-season, you can see it's not a difficult pre-season, really. We're not going to be that challenged. But our start to the league season is pretty intense. We've got Everton, Liverpool, and then Arsenal. So we really need to get stuck into the transfer market, get the team going, overhaul the squad, and then see how we do. So do drop a like on the video if you're looking forward to this series. And make sure to subscribe for more quality FM19 content coming out over the next year. And let me know if you've got ideas for suggestions, for tactics, Wonder Kids list, anything that you want to see from me down in the comments. But I'm going to skip forward now and get through some of pre-season and have a look at a few transfers. As I always do, I have gone way too far into the future, and if we have a look at the squad schedule screen, you can see pre-season is now at an end. So we drew 1-1 with our own under-23s, which isn't an ideal result, but we did then beat Spartak Moscow 3-0, 2 for Iosi Perez and 1 for John Joe in that game. We lost to Craiova. I don't even know what this team is. But they beat us 1-0, 93rd minute goal. We were down to 10 men in 5 minutes, so probably explains a lot. We then won 3-0 against Akhisarspor, who are a Turkish side whose name I have butchered. Lukacs with an own goal, then Shelby and Clark got the goals in that one. Then we beat Gateshead 4-0, 2 for Perez, 1 for Atsu, 1 for Longstaff, 3-0 win over Heerenveen. Ki Sung-young, Isaac Hayden getting goals there, and an own goal for Zanelli, a few own goals going in. We did lose 2-1 to Toulouse, Sanogo with a goal there. I'm glad to see Longstaff getting so many goals though. This has been a real positive of pre-season. You can see Shelby with a hat-trick there, and one of our new signings adding the finishing touch, 4-0. So if we have a look at those transfers, and our transfer history, you'll see I've still got 20 million in the budget, and that's because we've spent as much as we've brought in. So players going out, we sold Carl Darlow at a cut price of 4.5 million, although his value hasn't gone above that, so I don't know how cut price it really was. Hosselu, we sold to Fiorentina for 5.75. That was again a little bit cut price. But I just wanted the cash. He was never going to play. Christian Atsu, we managed to hold out for 10 million. Still a bit of a steal for Crystal Palace, but he was never going to get in our team. And so the 10 million in cash is very much worth it. Same for Matt Richie. He's gone for up to 16 million to West Ham. A little bit underpriced for a player of his ability. He can play in that shadow striker role at a pinch, but I just felt like the money would be better invested in other players, and that is what I've gone and done. So if you've watched my Wonder Kids video, if you haven't, you should go and watch it. They are 8 of the best Wonder Kids in the game. One of them is Sandro Tonali, who we have brought in. He's 18 years old. We've paid 15 million for him. He is one of the players who goes on to become worth 50, 60 million pounds, and he was pretty much the only one we could actually bring in. So I've gone and signed him, also because he can play as a regista. He can also play as a Mazzala and a box-to-box midfielder. He was perfect. So he was worth splashing 15 million on. We also managed to get Riyad Boudabous, who is a brilliant signing because he can play as a shadow striker and an attacking midfielder. He can even drop into a Mazzala if we need him to. But he's going to be a fantastic addition, and he's got brilliant stats to boot. Very highly rated by the assistant manager and worth a lot more than 4.9 million. The third signing was Luca Spears, another player who can play as a shadow striker almost perfectly. He's got potential to develop. He's going to be worth a lot more than 3.3 million once we get him into this tactic. And finally, we have Rijiciano Haps. Let's call him Haps. He is Dutch. He's a wing-back. He can play as a complete wing-back. That's why I brought him in. He's got room to develop, I think. He's 25 years old. It's a bit late in the day, but he will be around for a little while, and I think he'd be a great left wing-back, which is the area that we did need to strengthen, because it means that we don't have to play Paul Dummett in that position. So as you can see, Paul Dummett may well end up getting sold, either him or Kieran Clark. I'm not sure which one. But you can see the way the squad is built now. I'm happy with the numbers. Over time, 2 or 3 of them won't get played. They'll get unhappy, and I will sell them. So that will happen with a bit of time. But pre-season so far I'm pretty happy with. So this is how we're going to line up against Everton. It is the same tactic that I've already shown you, so we won't go into detail there. But you can see we've got Lucas Piazon, Boudabous and Ayoze Perez in the attacking midfield roles. We've got Hayden, Shelby and Ki Sung-young in midfield, with Dummett, Clark, Lascelles and Yedlin the back 4. So pretty continuous back line. It's only Boudabous and Lucas Piazon making their debuts today, but we've got Shah, Longstaff, Muto, Haps, Murphy and Kennedy on the bench if we need them. I have also cancelled the loan of Salomon Rondon. I may also cancel the loan of Kennedy because he can kind of play in attacking midfield area, but I don't think we need him. I don't think we need to pay his 25 grand a week wages. I don't really want to help Chelsea develop a great player that we can't use in the future. So, I've just accidentally removed our right wing back. There we go. Let's bring him back in. Yedlin back in. So this is the team we're going to put forward to take on Everton. Now, full disclosure, tomorrow I'm getting a brand new computer. Today I do not have a brand new computer. I've still got my MacBook, which last year just about saw me through FM18. I'm not sure it's going to see me through FM19. A bit of an issue here. I don't know if you guys are getting this as well. These take forever to load. It's probably because I'm using my MacBook, which is a load of rubbish. But there you can see the Everton team, which I've accidentally gone past. I'm going to tell the team to go out there and impress me, and we will just see what they can do. Well, as if to emphasise how bad my MacBook is, it did just crash. You can see it's a bit stuttery, the gameplay, so apologies for that. That will be fixed tomorrow when I get the new computer. Hopefully this isn't too bad. I can turn down the settings a little bit, but it does look like total rubbish if I try and do that. I don't know if I'm able to do that mid-game. But you can see we're running on key highlights. We have got the replays on. We're using the director cam as well. So we'll just have to make do. It's only for this one game. This is all we're going to have today. We're going to get through this first Premier League game of the season, see how we can do. And then my new computer is fully top of the line. We will enjoy Football Manager for the first time in my life in absolute maximum settings. I'm probably going to load every single league up just because I'll be able to. But it's thanks to you guys that have been able to get the new computer. So thanks for watching the videos. Clicking the like button, keep subscribing, and we will be able to make sure this channel really does grow. I'm trying to hit that 20,000 subscriber goal by the end of the year, so hopefully if you guys are watching this in 6 months time, we have already got that. But so far a pretty dull game, although we are only 15 minutes in, so maybe if I speed up the match between highlights and not during highlights, then we might get through this a little bit quicker. So here we go. Boodaboos with the corner. Sends it towards the back stick. Ki-Sung Young arriving. Lascelles is there. It's hit the post, but there was a push on Pickford by Jamal Lascelles. We are going to speed that up a little bit. That is a bit too slow for my liking. Although Everton do have a free kick here. They're going back to defence. Here is Garner. Out wide to Baines, down the line for Richarlison, who's danger man. He puts it in, and Cenk Tosun, it's saved, but Sigurdsson with the follow-up tucks it in that bottom corner, and it is 1-0 to Everton, and very difficult for us now. Even though we are the home side, that is not ideal, and I think we will probably struggle to come back. You can see Baines picked it up, played it down the left, keeping Richarlison in. He puts it in there. Cenk Tosun, good save by Dubravka, although it was straight at him. And Sigurdsson just in the right place at the right time. Makes it 1-0. We've got a bit of a mountain to climb, but we've got Boodaboos on a free kick. He puts it in towards the back stick. Lascelles arriving. There's a foul, there's a penalty, and there is no VAR like there was in the LA Galaxy save. So maybe this will help. It's John Joe surely going to take the penalty for us. It is John Joe Shelvey stepping up to make it 1-1. He finds the bottom corner. We're back in the game, and the season is starting all right. Let's hope I don't get sacked this season. I've never been sacked as manager of Newcastle ever in my life, and that is not about to start in FM19. We've got the new tactic. It is going to do the job for us. We're not bringing in 2 games before the sacking, and we will survive. But at the moment, surviving is what we're doing. Although the stats, not too bad. 4 shots, 1 on target, going up. Everton with 3 shots, although they've all been on target. Paul Dummett here with the throw-in as we get a dynamic camera angle. Ki-Sung Young headed it on. Sigurdsson has picked it up. He's the danger man now. Keane to Richarlison. Comes forward, plays it forward to Clark. Here's Hayden on to Luca Spears. I want to see something from him. He was a bit of a gamble in the transfer market. Ki-Sung Young outside to Dummett again. Tried to get it in, but has given it away. And now Vidal attacking down the right, skips a tackle. Who's throwing themselves in there on the halfway line with a slide tackle? Vidal puts it in. Tosun arriving, makes it 2-1. And Cenk Tosun looking extremely clinical this season. 2-1 now to Everton. Half an hour played. It's really difficult. It all comes back to that left-back mistake by Paul Dummett. I knew I should have started Haps ahead of him. But Paul Dummett there making the mistake. Cenk Tosun with an easy header in front of Lascelles, and it is 2-1. Nothing Dubravka could really do about that. But could it be about to get a lot worse? Here's Leighton Baines. Down the line for Richarlison. Yedlin going in from behind when he's already on a yellow is not what I want to see. But he has won the ball. Now Yedlin on the attack. Cutting inside. Plays it to Shelvey. In for Perez. He's got men across the box. Boodaboos one of them. And Boodaboos gets the debut goal in front of the Gallagher end. 2-2 now. Half an hour played. Whenever Everton hit us, we hit back. Can we get the next punch? Can we get a winning goal even though we're only half an hour in? Yedlin over to Shelvey there. Put it into Perez. Ball across the 6-yard box was perfect, and Boodaboos with an easy finish, but there were 2 other players behind him, so even he didn't necessarily have to finish that, but it's great that he has got that debut goal, because I'm expecting quite a few goals from him in that position, despite the fact he's only got 12 finishing. But at the moment, I will take a 2-2 with Everton. I would have expected to lose this game, so if we're holding our own, we're doing very well. Unfortunately, player fitness is not in a brilliant position, knocking down at the 70-odd% when we're only at half-time. They're going to finish in the 60s based on that. Maybe we should have done a little bit more rigorous training. But I'm going to say that they've been unlucky so far, which I think they have. I think we might have just about being the better team on the stats, even though Everton probably shown that they have the better players. But the second half kicking off, not a lot going on there. You can see we've had 7 shots, we've got 54% possession. I'm pretty happy with that. Can we create some more chances? Shelvey on the ball. Be great if we could take the lead at home. Yedlin to Perez. Shelvey's continued his run, and Yedlin now in behind. He's got 4 players arriving in the box. Puts it to the back stick. Piazon arriving. Gets the header, but it's just wide from Lucas Piazon. He is a striker playing in that attacking midfield role. I'm expecting him to get most of the goals. Perez needs to do well as well this season. Here's Hayden onto Perez. In behind for Buda Boos, who's looking like a steal at 5 million. He's in on goal, but Pickford with a good stop. Buda Boos, 4.9 million, I think he was. That is an absolute raid that we've managed to pull off there. And I think he's going to be worth his weight in gold in this tactic. But I'm so happy we've managed to start the season with players pretty much in their correct roles in a tactic as unusual as this. Bearing in mind we're at Newcastle where there's never any money either. That is very, very helpful. But it's good that 2 of our best players were wingers who I'm no longer using and was able to offload. Now Shelvey wins a header. There's 20 minutes left. I'll make a change soon. But Buda Boos is in behind. He seems to have the legs as well. Took that shot on a little bit early, but there was no support for him. So maybe our other players should have flooded forward a bit quicker. Buda Boos with the corner though. Puts it in. Cleared out by Zuma. Shelvey clears up. Finds Buda Boos. Puts a cross in and it's saved by Pickford. It was actually off Vidal, but we do get another corner from Buda Boos. Puts it into the near post, cleared out by Zuma again. Shelvey following up, goes inside this time. Now Hayden out to Buda Boos. Players arriving, back to Ki Sung-young. Shelvey, are we going to get a shot off? It's Hayden into Buda Boos. Tackle goes in, Coleman clears it, and no penalty given. Now it is time for a little substitution, I think, because these players are absolutely knackered. I'm not sure. Sean Longstaff did so well in pre-season. He's going to have to come on for attacking midfield. I'm going to bring Haps on for Paul Dummett and see how he does. We'll leave it at that for now. I don't really like making 3 substitutions at the same time. I might make another one with about 5 to go because I think the midfield might need a bit of a reprieve. Wolves and West Ham drawing at the moment. If we can get a draw against Everton, first game of the season, I am pretty happy with that. I am just going to bring off one of the midfielders. I'm not sure who to bring on here. We don't really have any central midfielders. That's the issue. We could drop Buda Boos back into midfield and then bring on Muto in that attacking midfield role. And I think we are going to do that. Let's move Shelvey up there and then put Muto in there for his debut, because maybe playing his debut might encourage him to go and get a goal. But Muto is on. Longstaff is a bit apprehensive. This is probably his Premier League debut. I'm hoping that we can just see this one out. If not, hopefully still a little winner. We were definitely the better team. We've got a 2-minute highlight here. Haps in, Ki Sung-young on. Hayden, back to Ki Sung-young. Forward to Muto. He's turning, he's running. We've got 2 fresh players in the attacking area. And here's Longstaff in on goal. What a Premier League debut that would have been if Sean Longstaff had put the ball in the back of the net there. He had a great pre-season, which is why I gave him a bit of time here. Buda Boos with the corner. Puts it in. Last minute, Zuma clears it out. Ki Sung-young back to Buda Boos. Puts it in again. Baines away this time. Now Hayden. Pressure being turned up here by the Newcastle boys. Brings it away from goal. Puts it into Perez. Danger not passed yet. Here's Longstaff to Buda Boos. Goes for goal. And he's put it high and wide there. He was a bit more advanced than I would have expected after dropping him to midfield. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be the full-time whistle on a 2-2 draw. Ball sent up. Clark heads it on. Longstaff trying to tip it further on. Comes back to him again. Plays it in, but Zuma clears it. We need to make sure that they don't accidentally get in. Here's Longstaff again, but the full-time whistle goes. It's 2-2 at the end of our first game of the season. John Joe Shelvey and Riyad Buda Boos. 21 minutes and then 22 minutes, 31 minutes and then 33 minutes. That is quite a way to reply. It's showing we have some character in this team. I'm going to tell them they were unlucky. We were the better team today. We had way more shots. We dominated possession. There's no reason we can't win those games going forward. So I am very happy with that. But Liverpool away is going to be a very different prospect to Everton at home. So we'll have to see. But Buda Boos scoring on his debut. Very happy with that. Excellent play by the Algerian. By the way, I am using the old logo packs from FM18. I will put some new ones in before long. This is a metallic pack for FM18 if you're asking. You can literally copy and paste your FM18 files into your FM19 folders and it will do the same job. You don't necessarily have to go and download a whole new data set every time. There will be some mismatches with that, but honestly, as a short-term fix, it works, so it's worth doing. And that includes my competitions here. You can see Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all loaded. So that's quite easy to do. But if you've enjoyed this first episode of the FM19 beta, do drop a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. But until next time, see ya.